Good morning, Big Brother fans. It is Thursday, August. I wish it was July. August 8th. And we have an eviction coming up. It is later in the morning than I normally record these. I am not at work today. I am running to help one of my youngins move apartments. He's going to college right now, and he's changing apartments this summer, right before classes start. And so I am bringing him some furniture and driving Mabel. Maybe I'll talk about Mabel at the end of this, but some of you probably don't want to hear that kind of stuff, so let me just talk about what's going on in Big Brother. Jack is going home tonight, or going to the jury house tonight. That's really what you need to know. Nothing major going on. I mean, Jackson's been trying to hatch plans, or Tommy is the one who came up with this plan a couple of days ago at this point. I think it was. To try to blackmail Kat. So Jackson looks at it as he needs 2 votes. First of all, Jack assumes that he has Nick's vote, which is questionable. He's counting on Nick's vote as one of his votes, so that gives him 4 votes. Christy, Tommy, Annalise, and Nick. That's 4 votes, so he thinks he needs 1 more vote to make it 5, so Jessica isn't, doing a tiebreaker kind of thing. In reality, Nick has said that he's not going to vote to keep Jack, that he's going to vote to evict Jack, but I think part of it is he's trying to keep Annalise happy, and so he's kind of telling her what he thinks she wants to hear, and he wants to stay on the good side of that house. But I'm guessing in the end he's going to say, look, it just didn't happen. The people that you thought were going to flip didn't flip, and so I had to, get on the right side, and no one's going to blame you, Annalise, for voting to evict Jackson because, you're with Jack. So that's what I guess the angle that Nick's going to go with. So Jack has been working on Cliff a bit yesterday. Plus, he has this plan, as I said, that Tommy came up with to try to get Kat's vote. He kept saying he was going to do it this time, he's going to do it this time. So all day yesterday we kept thinking, maybe he's going to do it now, maybe he's going to do it now. And he kept putting it off, and now he's put it off until today. The reason being, his excuse, his reasoning, is that he's had this talk with Cliff where he's promised him the world. I mean, he's promised him all kinds of immunities and safeties, and he said, "Well, I'll make." I'm not quoting the exact terms of the deal here, by the way, but just let me give you an example. I'll never nominate you, and I've got the guarantee from Christy and Tommy that they won't nominate you for 2 weeks, and Annalise won't ever nominate you, and blah 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 blah. Just all kinds of promises and stuff. If Cliff will only not vote, will vote to save him this week. And Cliff is basically hem and hawing and saying, I'll think about it. Let me get back to you. I'll tell you. He's supposedly said, I'll tell you by noon today. And so that's kind of what's holding Jack off from making this move on Kat. But Jack kind of implied to Cliff that he's thinking about putting this pressure on Kat. And so Cliff, and I'm yelling Cliff sucks and he's a game ruiner and all this kind of stuff. I'm not that upset with Cliff. He's playing the game, but it's fun to say that kind of stuff on Twitter. People are so sensitive on Twitter. Cliff has gone back and let Kat know that Jack's thinking of pulling some kind of a thing. And they think it's to tell... They think that Jack is threatening to tell Cliff that Kat knew about the vote to evict Cliff. And, nobody cares at this point. Now, in reality, the original scheme was that Jack was going to threaten to tell Jessica that Kat was, lying and being a mole and backstabbing. But at this point, I'm not even 100% sure on what Jack's plan is. He just wants to try to put some pressure on Kat, which it's not going to work. I don't care what thing Jack comes up with. It's not going to change Kat's decision. And so, she's going to vote out Jack, which is what she said she wasn't going to do. Of course, she said she was going to vote Jackson until he was gone. But you know what? You have to modify your plans when necessary, and that's what she's done. And look, Kat can make it to the finals. I'm totally unsure. I'm hearing all kinds of negative talk about Tommy now at this point. People are seeing Tommy as a big threat. So my thought that Tommy had a chance to go far may be gone. It may be that people are calling out his style of gameplay, which is what I've said in the past about people saying, well, I'm going to play this person's game. I'm going to play this person's game. You can't. That person, can't come back in the house and replay the same game they played the year before or the time before, because people have seen it. So people are watching Tommy's style of gameplay and they're saying, oh, this is just, this is what he's doing. He's nobody dislikes him. He's involved with everybody. He's this and that. Yeah, we can't have that. We're going to have to get him out. So it gets, what wins gets harder and harder to tell. And I just don't, I thought Tommy's style was going to get it for him, but I should have thought about it and thought, if people recognize it, and that's the case too, is if people are savvy enough or thinking about it enough. And this house is, as much as people say it's a lame season and not that good. By the way, are you all still saying that now? Are we all still saying this is a lame season and not very good? Is this or has it been like, it's been interesting. There's been twists and turns. There's game playing going on. There's stuff. I think part of it is that we're some of us are just suffering that natural burnout of a show that is fairly predictable in a lot of ways now. And if the twists and turns that the house guests don't keep us interested enough, we get bored really quick. We need that drama all the time, and the live feeds definitely don't give it to us, and CBS tries to manufacture it with their twists, and it just doesn't really, we know how well their twists work. So, I got off on a tangent with Tommy. So Jack's not going to, if he goes to Cliff today at noon, which will be 3 o'clock Big Brother time or earlier, if Cliff gives him a definite no, which I'm not sure Cliff will. I'm not sure Cliff will give him that, definite nope, not voting for you. Or if Cliff will just go like, yeah, I'm thinking, Jack, I'm looking like it's going to be. And will Jackson decide, okay, it's go time, or Jack decide it's go time. We're going to have to I'm sorry, I'm having a moment. Get the pressure put on Kat. There we go. Traffic, merging, concentrating, driving. Yes, that's what I'm doing while I do a car cast. What else to tell you guys? Last night's show. Let's talk about the power veto competition. All right. So last night, Jessica won. It was a total crapshoot, total luck of the draw. Only because even if you were fairly good at it, one screwed up shot and you're done. Look at Jack. He got a 21 on the first spin, and the next spin he got a 0. So what's that? How's that? It's kind of like, well, even though you did really good once, you're screwed if you slip at all. If you have one bad throw, you're done. And to me, if it's a contest of any kind of skill, you should be able to suffer one or two setbacks if your average is good. Now, granted, that was a 50-50. One was good, one was bad. You don't have a chance to. It's not like two were good and then he had a bad one. But my point is, they should do cumulative points on that. You should be able to add up your points. So in this case, I don't think... So if you added up everybody else's first two scores on the first two rounds, I don't think every single person was over 21 total. Like maybe someone had one or had a 5 and an 8. You know, so you got what, 5 and 8? Yes, 13. I never have been good at my 5 and 8s, by the way. 8 plus 5 throws me, or 5, yeah. I know, stupid me. Tangents. So, you know, Jack got 21 and then he got 0 and he was eliminated. Give everybody, let them add up their scores. Let them add their scores together, and at the end, now, the problem with that, of course, is that if someone is dominating, they're going to have a super high score. And no one's going to be able to catch him at the end. The last round won't make a difference because nobody can top, you know, the person who's been dominating. But oh well, you play sports. When one person dominates, they dominate, and they can say, "I dominated, I did great," and you know that to me would make it more interesting than this randomness. That was just a totally random power veto. So there's one thought. There's a thought on the power veto. Will they change it? Nope, they won't change it. They're not going to make that any different. But it's a thought. The other thing was the prize selection. Now, they've been doing it this way for years, and it's just annoying to me because it's a variant of the white elephant, your white elephant gift exchange, where, you know, everybody brings gifts and they stick them, you know, in a pile or whatever. I mean, this could be we do it at Christmas with my family, with my in-law family, where we all buy. We all either buy or bring. Usually everybody buys gifts under like $20. And some of them are okay gifts and some of them are kind of just wacky gifts. Like someone usually buys a pair of pajamas that are like animal themed. You know, like a big cow. Just stupid stuff. Or my wife likes to do a whole theme set because she'll get them for everybody on our side of the family. So she'll get like 5 different sets of things. And one year, one pile of things, it was a pile of small things that combined into one, and it was all bacon themed. It was probably bacon Band-Aids, bacon candy, bacon bubble gum, you know, just bacon themed, that kind of stuff. And you know, you some person gets to select it. A person picks the first gift, and they keep it. Now, there's variations on this game, by the way. So, and those, I'm sure most of you are familiar with it. But, you know, say the first person gets to keep it. The next person draws, and they can either take the person's gift that drew it, or they take a new one. And it's random. It's not lined up. And so, you might not see the power veto show up until the very end. There's some randomness to it. The way the game is set up now, this game is nothing like that anymore because now they just line the gifts up. And the first gift's the power veto. So there it is right there. What are we going to do? And so there's multiple exchanges because you know people are going to keep grabbing the power veto. I'm not sure why they decided to make that change. But they did. I specifically remember, I think it was Big Brother, this goes back a long ways. I think the Donatos were involved, at least that far back as this gift exchange thing's been going on. But point is, I don't like it. It annoys me. What else is new? I don't like it. It annoys me. So they need to stop doing it. Fair enough? Sound like a plan? Okay. Let production know that I don't want them to do that anymore. All right, what else? I think that's about it, guys. I may fire up a live Periscope in a little bit here. As I said, I've got a long drive. I'm not even sure how much longer. Probably over an hour. And so I may fire up Periscope. So keep your eyes peeled for those of you that listen to this. Or I may have already done it before you ever hear this. Because it is currently 10:45 a.m. Eastern Time. So that's 7:45 Big Brother time. And yeah, I'll get this posted, but this is going to be a late morning for most people anyways for me posting this up. So that's all I got. My Mabel story. Oh, Love Island. I know who won. I'm not going to spoil it. I hadn't watched this week, and maybe not even part of last week. But I was going to go back and watch it, and then Robin Casting spoiled it for me. Because I follow her. Not sure why. I follow Robin because she puts out an announcement about casting, but at this point I'm thinking of unfollowing because it annoys me that she spoiled the show for me because she put a congratulations out to the couple that won. And that annoyed me. Because there's a chance that Colette could have spoiled it for me this morning because she talked about, but I don't know if she said who won. She may have said I was happy with the couple that won, which that's the correct way to talk about a show that you don't want to spoil for other people. You basically say, I saw the winner and I was happy with it or I wasn't happy with it, but I'm not going to say the name right now because I know that there's other people out there who haven't had a chance to see the finale or several episodes. But yeah, Robin didn't do it. She quoted the Love Island Twitter account and said congratulations to them. So, I'm annoyed. I may unfollow Robin Casting. She won't care. She doesn't follow me. And I doubt she even knows who I am. But I do know that she'd never cast me for Big Brother. Because they would figure out who I was. And they wouldn't want someone. They're never going to cast any of your favorite, I'm not saying I'm anybody's favorite, but any favorite online person that talks about Big Brother, probably not going to get cast on Big Brother. It's just too big of a connection, I think, to the show. I'd love to go on if no one knew who I was. I would love to go on and just be, oh, that's Mike. And no one knew that tied Mike in with the Big Brother gossip show or the websites or anything. And nobody ever put it together until after I got out. I was like, oh, that's why Mike's website wasn't active. That's why his Twitter account was completely dormant for the first time in 10 years or whatever, how many years. All right. So, unfollowing Robin, probably. Yeah, I should do that. And then last but not least, again, Mabel. Mabel is my family minivan. I think it's a 2005. It's a 2005 Toyota Sienna. And it's a lot longer than 2005. Wow, this would be like in 1980, me driving a 1965 car. I have to put it in perspective because to me, saying 2005 in 2019, or 20, almost, yeah, so 1979 driving a 1965 car. That to me puts it in more, or driving in 1985 or 1984, driving a 1970 car. I would have been horrified. Ah, damn, this van is old. Mabel, we've had since 2005. We bought her new. She has 304,000 miles. Actually, I'm going to hit 305 probably before I get home. So 304,000 plus miles. I still get roughly 22, 23 miles per gallon. The damn car just keeps driving. Now, have I replaced things on it? Yes. Probably an alternator, I think. Almost definitely had to replace an alternator. And she threw a rod. And so we actually had to replace part of the engine. I'm not a mechanic. It ended up setting us back like a couple $1,000s at the time, but that was 100,000 miles ago. I think it was worth the money. I think we were just shy. I think we were maybe 170,000 miles or something when that happened. The timing chain went, and we'd never changed the timing chain or the timing belt. It wasn't a chain. It's not a chain on this car. It's a belt. The belt broke. Threw a rod, and we should have gotten the belt changed at 100,000. So that was our mistake. It has been changed since then, by the way. So our mechanic changed the belt, fixed the engine, or had it fixed, and we kept driving it. It's been to Colorado a couple of times. It's been to Florida more times than I can count. It's been to Washington, D.C. Did we take it to Washington? Yeah, we took it to Washington, D.C. a couple times, at least once or twice, I believe. New York, and all over the state of Indiana. And it just keeps going. Now, it's got its age. It has problems. The automatic door doesn't work anymore. The sliding door. The passenger side never was. The driver's side sliding door was never automatic. We didn't go with that option, but the passenger side was. Yeah, the cable snapped on that years ago. And rather than get it fixed, I just cut the cable. And you just have to manually open the door. It's okay. Now, sometimes you actually have to open it from the outside, but that's okay. It's got some shakes and some noises, and actually for the last, probably 15, 20,000 miles, all the lights are on the dash. All the warning lights. So there may be a serious problem with the van right now, and I just don't know it because all the lights are on. But it still drives. And the mechanic says there's nothing that he can see wrong with it, but it's not worth spending the money to fix the electronic part that is, throwing the sensors and saying if things are wrong. Like it says the windshield washer fluid is low. Well, it's not. Has check engine, the traction light, but everything else works. It works, it drives. The air conditioning still works. The radio still works. The CD player I don't think works anymore. Not sure. But who uses that? The tape deck, I don't think the tape deck works anymore, but I don't know. I can't tell you the last time we threw a tape cassette in this, because this has both a tape and a CD player. Yeah, I don't know. It drives. And my wife keeps saying we should just get rid of it. I'm like, what are we gonna replace it with? We're not gonna replace it if we get rid of it. And all we have on it is collision. As long as we have a place to put it up, it's worth the money and insurance, and the license plates are dirt cheap for it now. It's like this is a big, huge van that we can transport 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 people in easily. Probably take this on a winery tour sometime in the next month. I'll drive my wife and her friends, and they can go visit some wineries. All right, I'm done talking. Oh, hi, my sister, if you're listening to this. She hasn't texted me in a while, so I don't know if she still listens to my CarCast. But if she is, hello, how are you? I'm driving south to move somebody from their apartments. When do your children go back to school? Soon? All right, I shouldn't be communicating with my sister through my podcast, my CarCast. I'm signing off, guys. Have a happy Thursday. Maybe there'll be a feed leak tonight, or maybe if it's boring, I don't know if the guy's going to post it. I think the guy will probably post it today just because of last week, and I think we'll find out how boring it is right before the show starts. But I am curious, and I will be watching for it, and I will definitely grab it if he throws it up. And we'll talk about it, maybe. It'll probably be boring. I'm done now. Goodbye. See you later.